everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. My name is Naveen and today we'll be looking at CAT 2024 series. In this we'll be looking at matrix and arrangement, and this is part 2 of the DILR of this series. So we'll be looking at couple of sets, some very interesting sets. The level of difficulty is going to be moderate and above. Okay, so let's begin with our first set of the day. So looks like I'll have to hide myself. One moment. Okay, so before I begin, I would like to tell you that there is a pinned comment in the chat. It's a counseling form. Make sure that you put in your contact number and email address correctly so that we can get in touch with you and we can take care of whatever queries you have. So let's begin. The first set says there are 10 people, P to Y, work in a company. The designation of each one of them is different. That is CEO, CO, CFO, CMO, CIO, President, VP, and so on and so forth. The sequence of the posts is as above. So the sequence is going to remain same. So CEO is at the top and executive is the bottom. That is, CEO is the senior most designation and is ranked as 1, while executive is the junior most designation and is ranked as 10. Persons who hold an even rank completed their studies from different universities. So these are 5. So 1 to 10 rank, right? The even ranks 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. These are 5 ranks, and these 5 rank holders, they studied from these 5 universities. Okay, and what about the remaining 5? Well, let's see if anything else is given about them. No, nothing else is given. Now then we have points. 2 designations are present between the person who studied from RIT and you. Total number of people who hold an even rank and work above the one who studied from BIT is the same as total number of people who hold an even rank and work under him, and so on and so forth. So there are 11 points, which is way too time consuming. So we can see that there are few attributes. One is name, the other is designation, and then there we have rank, and then we have the university that they studied from, right? So out of these 4, rank is the primary one, as in we will be filling up the ranks from 1 to 10, and the designations also will be accordingly filled, CEO, CO, CFO, and so on up to executive, right? So 2 columns are going to be filled. We only have to figure out which rank goes to which person and from which university, if known, they studied from. Okay, so we need a table. So the table is going to look like this. Rank is given, designation is given, and then we have got name and college. So let's begin. The first point says 2 designations are present between the person who studied from RIT and U. So U is name of a person, RIT is the name of the college. So we can have RIT and then we will have 2 designations and then we can have U. Or we can have a U, 2 designations, and then the person who studied from RIT, right? One of these 2 will happen. Don't know where to put. Second, total number of people who hold an even rank and work above the one who studied from BIT is the same as the total number of people who hold an even rank and work under him. So we can see that the even rank holders are 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. The person who studied from BIT, the number of people above him who are even rank holders and the number of people below him who are even rank holders, they are same. They are equal in number. So we can very much say that 6th rank holder studied from BIT. So that we have 2 people of even rank holder above him and 2 people of even rank holder below him. Next, R is junior to P but senior to S. So R is junior to P but senior to S. They may not necessarily be in the consecutive order, right? U is junior to T, so U is junior to T, and there is at least 1 designation between them. So I'll put a point and a plus, as in we can have more than 1. Next, the number of persons that work between U and T is the same as the number of people that work between T and X. So if I include this with the previous one, we can combine these 2 and say कि by U and the number of places between U and T is same as the number of places between T and X, right? X cannot be below T because U is already below. Next, the one who studied from MIT is junior from the one who studied from NIT. So looking at this, excuse me, I can say that MIT should be below NIT, right? There may be people or they may not be. So we don't know that. They may be consecutive, who knows? Okay, they are not going to be consecutive for sure, right? Because MIT and NIT, they studied from even numbered, right? They can't be consecutive. So एक gap तो कम से कम होगा. We can have more also. W is one rank junior to Q. So W is one rank junior to Q. So this is consecutive. So one of them definitely studied in one of the 5 universities given. Only 3 designations are present between Y and X. So we can have Y, 3 designations and X, or we can have X, 3 designations and Y. Right? दोनों में से one will happen. Okay. Let's put commas. The one who studied from IIT is senior to T. So above T, we need someone who is from IIT, right? Not necessarily consecutive. We don't know that. Q did not study from MIT. So do we have Q so far? Yes. So Q did not study from MIT. We studied from IIT. So now we can put V here. Right? We studied from IIT. The one who studied from RIT is either AVP or executive. So RIT is AVP or executive, right? So we will kind of remember this 11th one. Now, in order to fill this, there are a lot of information that is mixed up, jumbled up. So we will try to figure out the sequence, which is the longest one. So we can see X and Y ka sequence, which is the lengthiest one, right? ये वाला सबसे लंबा है, because they occupy 5 places. The next one is, which is related to X or Y, is this one. So if I look at this, suppose if I say Y is at the top, there are 3 blank spaces and then we have an X. There is going to be 1 blank space at least, and then we have a T, the blank space, and then we will have a U. We can't have 2 blank spaces between X and T, because that will force 2 blank spaces between T and U will go beyond the table, right? So this is one possibility. Now, if I look at this and if I combine with U, it says 2 blank spaces above and then RIT, but BIT is already present. So this sequence will not work out. That means Y is not at the top and X is not at the bottom, right? Okay. Now, how about I take X at the top, right? 3 blank spaces and then I take a T. Sorry, not T, Y. Okay, if this is done, now if I look at this particular sequence, we need at least 1 blank spaces. Suppose if I take 1 blank space and put a T, then U will clash with Y. So I can't have 1 blank space now. What about if I take 2 blank spaces? Then 2 blank spaces and then we can have U here. Now if we have U here and if we look at this, 2 blank spaces and this will turn out to be RIT, right? Or we can have RIT at the 2 blank spaces and RIT here. ये भी हो सकता है, 2 blank के बाद RIT. So both can happen, right? So we can have RIT here or we can have RIT here. So this makes sense. What if I shift T further? If I shift T further below, this is where T can go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 blank spaces. If I take 4 blank spaces, U will go beyond the table. So I can't push T further. What if I push X further below? So X, 3 blank spaces and a Y. Now T as usual can come here, 2 blank spaces and a T. So 2 blank spaces and then a U. Now we can't have U, 2 blank spaces and RIT below, 2 blank spaces above and RIT. So this is RIT, but this is not possible because this is the place where someone from the 5 universities will go. Even number, right? Odd number pe we don't know which college they are from. So this X will not work. What if I further push x to the next one? X, 3 blank spaces and a y, 2 blank spaces and a t, 2 blank spaces and a u. If I take this case, not enough space. If I take this first case, u and 2 above is bit already occupied, won't work. What if I further shift this? X, 3 blank spaces and a y, and अच्छा इतना नीचे नहीं था ना, एक और नीचे जाएगा. So x is here, 3 blank spaces and a y, t goes here. No, we can't have u. So the only possibility that we can have by merging is this will work out, this doesn't work out. This works out, and we will have one of the two cases, right? दोनों हो सकते हैं. चलो, let's fill this up. So we will have x at the top, 3 blank spaces and a y. T will be here, 2 blank spaces, 2 blank spaces and a u. Now 2 blank spaces and an RIT, or 2 blank spaces and an RIT. So both works out as of now. Okay, next is above T we are supposed to have V, and V should be at IIT. So this is the only place left. So this goes to IIT. Okay, so we are done with this one as well. Sorry, we are done with this one as well. Next is let's look at this. NIT के नीचे MIT होगा. So the place that is left is, if I take NIT here and RIT is above, so this will be MIT, but RIT is either AVP or executive, right? So RIT cannot be CMO. So RIT will be forced down to be for executive. Sorry, not RIP, RIT I meant. Now using MIT has to be below NIT. This is the only place NIT is there, and this is the only place we can have MIT. So the colleges are fixed. We don't know anything about the odd numbered ranked colleges. Okay, now Q and W, they are going to be together. We can't put them at 3rd or 6th position. It's going to be 8th, 9th or 9th, 10th, right? Suppose if I take Q and W like this, it says Q didn't study from MIT. So we can't have Q at 8 and 9. So Q and W, they will take 9 and 10. Okay, so we have used this, we have used this. This did not work out, this worked out. Let's fill up PRS. There are only 3 cells left and nowhere PRS have been put in, so PRS will be filled. So this becomes our final table. So as you can see, we started with the sequence which was the longest, right? And it helped us, figure out, limited number of cases. If you had started with the lesser number of people, then we would have had more cases. Okay. So who among the following is AVP? So AVP is S. B option. What is the designation of the one who studied from NIT? So NIT person is CMO. People of how many designations work between R and COO? R and COO. CO is at 2nd position, 2nd rank, and R is at 6th. So there are 3 people between them. D. Okay. Next set. 5 candidates, Aarti, Devarti, Jyoti, Kirti and Riti, applied for an interview at Himadri Limited. Viraj, Niraj, Pankaj, Jalaj and Saroj were the 5 panelists who individually interviewed the candidates. Each candidate had to be individually interviewed in 2 rounds by 2 different panelists. The first round of interviews for all the candidates was scheduled with different panelists. Okay, so this means that each of the 5 candidates, 2 rounds, round 1 and round 2, each of the candidates will be there in first round and then second round में भी होंगे. So 2 round होगा इनका. And they are to be interviewed by different panelists. So suppose if Aarti is being interviewed by Viraj, Aarti will not be interviewed by Viraj again. Aarti has to be interviewed by somebody else. Okay. Next, it says the first round of interviews for all the candidates was scheduled with different panelists. So it's not that Aarti and Devarti, they both are going to be interviewed by only one person, let's say Viraj. If Aarti is interviewed by Viraj in one round, let's say first round, then Devarti can't be interviewed by Viraj in the first round. So we need to have different set of people being interviewed by different people. No candidate appeared for the second round of interviews before the first round of interviews were completed. As in Aarti का same round में नहीं हो सकता दो interview. It's true for every other 4 people, right? The panelists schedule their second round of interviews in the same sequence as their first round of interviews. So if you talk about the panelists here, so if the sequence is, let's say Viraj, Neeraj, Pankaj, Jalaj and Saroj, second round will also have the same sequence. The following facts are known. The first and last interviews of the interview process was conducted for Aarti by Viraj and Saroj respectively. Okay, so we would know where to put. So can we say we need to draw a table where the interviewer's name, interview's name, as in candidate's name, and round 1 and round 2 हमें fill करना है. So we need a table something like this, where we will have interviewers, we will have candidates, we will have interviewers, we will have candidates, and we will have 2 rounds. So तो एक table बनाते हैं. So this is what the table I was talking about should look like. So 5 candidates, second point, third point, fourth point, fifth point, 6 points से शुरू करते हैं, because 1 to 5 we have already understood. 6 point says the first and last interviews were conducted for Aarti. So the candidate is Aarti, first or last. And it was taken by Viraj and it was taken by Saroj. So since the sequence of panelists is same in both the rounds, Viraj and Saroj either fix ho gaya. Okay, next. There was only one interview, that of Riti, which was scheduled between the 2 interviews of Debarti. Now 2 interviews of Debarti हमें चाहिए. So Debarti and we will need Riti का. But Debarti and Debarti, they cannot be in the same round, whether round 1 or round 2. So how should we place it so that Debarti एक round 1 में हो या round 2 में? So can we say we can have Debarti, Riti and Debarti possible? Or we can have Debarti, Riti and Debarti possible? 2 cases हैं. It says that only one interview of Riti was scheduled between Debarti's 2 interviews. Debarti was not the first one to be interviewed in any round. Means Debarti idhar nahi ho sakti. So it has to be Debarti, Riti and Debarti in this sequence. So we will have Debarti, Riti and Debarti. So this sequence takes care of 2 conditions. Pehla to there is only one person between 2 interviews of Debarti, right? And Debarti, both the interviews are in different rounds. Second condition being Debarti's interview did not happen in the first, as the first candidate in any of the rounds. So 7th done. Next, there were equal number of interviews scheduled before as well as after the interviews conducted by Neeraj in both the rounds. Neeraj is an panelist. He is an interviewer. So Neeraj ka first round mein the number of interviews happened, and after the number of interviews happened, same hona chahiye. Second round mein bhi same hona chahiye, which is obvious, right? Because the sequence of panelists will be same. So Neeraj will go at the center. Okay. Number of interviews scheduled before Kirti in first round was equal to the number of interviews scheduled after Kirti in the second round. So suppose if I take Kirti here, then Kirti will go here, right? So that number of interviews before Kirti is 1, number of interviews after Kirti is 1. Chalo, ye possible hai. The next is if I take Kirti here, number of interviews before Kirti is 2. So Kirti has to be here. Number of interviews after Kirti is 2. But Kirti cannot be in the same sequence being interviewed by the same person. We need to have 2 different panelists, right? So Kirti cannot come here. Next, what if Kirti comes here? So there are 3 people before Kirti. So Kirti will come at the place of Debarti, but Debarti is already present. So we can't have Kirti there. The only possibility being that Kirti is present here and then Kirti is present here. Leftover person, so we have taken care of Aarti. Aarti dono mein aa chuki hai. Debarti dono mein aa chuki hai. Kirti has come in both. Riti and Jyoti are left. So if I put by chance Riti here, they both will become Jyoti, which is not allowed. है ना? So this forces us कि Riti will be here. So that Jyoti is here and Jyoti is here. So Jyoti is also done and Riti is also done. Now about the panelists, Viraj is taken care of, Neeraj is taken care of, Saroj is taken care of. Between Pankaj and Jalaj, this is Pankaj, this is Jalaj. Accordingly, this is Pankaj, this is Jalaj, or maybe this is Jalaj, this is Pankaj, and this is Jalaj, this is Pankaj. So we have 2 possibilities of panelist sequence, right? So I hope this particular sequence is understood. Always remember 2 things. First thing being that you cannot have the same sequence of candidates, because then the sequence of panelists and candidates will be same for that person. Second thing that you have to remember all the time is a particular candidate cannot come in the what shall I say, in the same round, right? हर एक का नाम एक बार आना चाहिए in each of the rounds, and the sequence of the panelists, they are supposed to be same. Let's look at the questions now. Who was the panelist for Jyoti's interview in the second round? Jyoti's interview in the second round is Neeraj. So option C. Which of the following is definitely true? Kirti was interviewed by J in the first round. Kirti was interviewed by J in the first round. It may be true, it may not be, right? Pankaj bhi ho sakta hai. So pehla to false. Jyoti was interviewed by Pankaj. Jyoti may or may not be interviewed by Pankaj, right? First round may. Riti was interviewed by Neeraj. Riti was interviewed by Neeraj. So third statement C makes sense. So ये definitely true हो जाएगा. Okay, for which of the following candidates the interview was definitely conducted by J? J ने किसका definitely conduct करा? So can I say if J is here, then he is going to take the interview of Kirti? Second case. If J is in the first case, as in Pankaj is in the first case, then J becomes the first case in the second round. तब वो कीर्ति का लेगा. So can we say that whether it is Jalaj and Pankaj or Pankaj or Jalaj sequence, Kirti's interview will be taken by Jalaj either in the first round or the second round for sure. दोनों में से किसी एक राउंड में तो फंसेगी वो उसके साथ, right? So Kirti. Who was the panelist for Debarti's interview in the second round? Debarti's interview in the second round, the panelist is either Pankaj or Jalaj. We don't know that. So the answer will become cannot be determined, right? Next is for how many candidates can both the panelists be uniquely determined based on the given information? Both the panelists, as in दोनों round का. तो चलो एक एक करके check करते हैं. If you look at Aarti, we know Aarti किसके साथ इंटरव्यू हुआ था. So that is one person, Aarti. Next is Kirti, not sure. Riti, fix. And देबारती एंड ज्योति, इसका भी फिक्स नहीं है. So is it the number of people और number of people तो नहीं है ये. Both the panelists can be uniquely determined. ज्योति का नीरज है, ज्योति का जलज और पंकज कोई भी हो सकता है. कीर्ति का, oh right, if I look at Kirti, can I say that it is Pankaj or Jalaj, whether it is the first case or the second case? Right, so तीन लोगों का. Aarti will be taken by Viraj and Saroj. Debarti not sure. Jyoti not sure. Kirti, it's Pankaj and Jalaj in any sequence. If it is Pankaj in the first round, Jalaj in the second, Jalaj in the first, Pankaj in the second. And Ritika, it is Neeraj and then Viraj. So, तीन लोगों का, 3 people we can uniquely determine. So, option A. Right. How many interviews were scheduled between the 2 interviews of Jyoti? So, let's go to Jyoti. So, one interview was conducted here, another interview was conducted here. So, there was 1, 2 and 3. 3 interviews were conducted between the 2 interviews of Jyoti. So, 3 हो जाएगा answer. 3. So, as you guys can see that this set was of mediocre level, moderate level. Yeah, hi everyone, hi. Right? Nice set, right? Pehla wala was, we had to look into 4 cases. The second one, we had to be careful about 4 conditions. So, 17th of February at 7 p.m., Mr. Gautam is going to take a workshop, okay, a live workshop for CAT 2024. It's 9 months to CAT now, right? So, how to prepare in these 9 months, okay, and deliver well. Now, from 9th February until 18th February, so another 4 days to go. All India Open Mock CAT 2024 has it's live right now. Please, everybody, make sure that you write the mock, and also make sure that you identify the level of the questions that come in exam if you have not written CAT before. Okay, it will also help you understand how much you are supposed to study. It will also give you an idea as to where you stand. Right, you will get to know your strengths and weaknesses. Check in the description, okay, there is a link which talks about CAT College Predictor. So if you want to know as per your profile which all IIMs and good colleges you are eligible for, you know, what percentile is required, which is a very generic and common question that students have. So you can check that. Also, I'll repeat, there is a pinned comment in the chat which talks about the counseling form. So if you click on it, put in your details, we will get in touch with you as soon as possible. You can have all your doubts resolved. You can download our app from Google Play. On the dashboard, you can click on that button which says talk to our counselor and we will get in touch with you. Please do check out our social media handles and pages. Thank you everyone. Thank you for joining. Take care. Bye-bye. And also do not forget to like and subscribe.